What one great thing would you dare to dream if you knew you could not fail? If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could not fail, what one thing would you set as a goal for yourself? Because sometimes answering that question will tell you the one thing that you've been put on this earth to accomplish.
To alleviate fear, you do not alleviate what causes fear. You help alleviate the reaction to what causes fear.
Life's not a spectator sport. If watching is all you're gonna do, then you're gonna watch your life go by without you.
75 years. That's how much time you get if you're lucky. 75 years. 75 winters, 75 springtimes, 75 summers, and 75 autumns. When you look at it like that, it's not a lot of time, is it? Don't waste them. Get your head out of the rat race and forget about the superficial things that preoccupy your existence and get back to what's important now. Right now, this very second.
Thought that maybe settling for mediocrity was a good idea because it was safe. Don't do it. Take a chance, take a risk, find that passion, rekindle it, fall in love all over again. It's really worth it.
So I know why you go on Instagram. I know why because you just have the time. You have the time because you don't want to put that time into bettering oneself.
The next year is going to go by whether you're doing something about your life or not.
Write down what you're trying to get done. Write down what you need to get done on a long-term basis and what you need to get done on a short-term basis. And write off a checklist. Force yourself. Be accountable.
What do you really, really want from your life? If you had no limitations, if you had all the money and all the time and all the talents and all the abilities, if you could do or be or have anything, what would you really want in your life? And write them down. And then what I encourage people to do is make a list of 10 things, 10 goals that you'd like to accomplish in the next year or so, and ask this question. If I could only accomplish one goal on this list, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life?
So I had made the decision that I would either die or I would succeed. And so I didn't know when it would happen. I just figured if I continued. So so if there's one thing for the audience, if anyone who's going through it right now, like one of the thing that I would, the refrain, the repeated message that I had to myself over and over again was, I cannot lose if I do not quit.
So it's a new year, but is it really gonna be a new you? I mean, what's gonna make this year any different? I mean, what's gonna keep you committed? What's gonna make you stay dedicated to that mission? Anybody can talk it, but the question is, can you live it? The question is, can you be consistent? It's easy to make a decision, but what's hard is staying loyal to your vision. What's hard is waking up every day to go get it. Ain't nothing in this world given. So if you want to make a change, get outside your comfort zone and stop living inside your limits. Stop playing with your life. Get up and go fight for your dreams, because anything is possible to the heart that believes. You gotta believe. You gotta feel that purpose in your soul, because too many people set goals, but they never put in the work to see their dreams unfold. That can't be you. It's time to break through. It's time for you to stay loyal to what you said you were gonna do.
New year, new you. Been hearing a lot of that, but it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a new year, but guess what? It's the old you. You're the only you got, and you're the only you're ever gonna have. So you better make yourself into what you want to be. And you do that by staying on the path of discipline.
Hard work is the goal. And so it's not like work hard so that X. Because as soon as you have a so that, then the X is the thing. But if the goal is to work as hard as you possibly can, then the only real output we have is who we become along the way. And so in reframing that, then it's something that I can win or measure myself against every day in real time throughout the day, which is how hard am I working, because that is the goal.
That is really what it is. It's like this understanding that you've f***ed up and that you've committed to this ideology, committed to this lifestyle, these choices that you make, this rigid pattern of behavior that is ultimately not serving you, and you realize the flaw in it, that you could have been something greater. And then you see someone who has done it, who's gotten better and is healthier, and you realize like, oh no, what have I done?
What do you wish you'd done before you died?
I don't know. Nothing.
You were to die right now, how would you feel about your life?
I don't know. I wouldn't feel anything good about my life. Is that what you want to hear me say? Fine.
How bad you really want it. And to be real with you, when you're serious about change, You don't need a new year because all you need is a new moment, so own it. It's time to kill those old ways. Because when you're focused on your vision and committed to your purpose, you don't have to chase money because dedication pays. But those weak habits gotta break. That mindset reshaped. You gotta believe the odds are beatable even when the odds say it's impossible. That's what I call faith. And that's what it's gonna take. 24/7, 365, you gotta live it, breathe it, be it every single day. Conquer any challenge that gets in the way. And remember, it's more about what you do and less about what you say. Every moment matters. When you realize 150,000 people die every night, ain't none of this promised. Ain't none of this guaranteed. So the question I want to ask you is this. When you fight your last fight, what's the legacy that you gonna leave? Stop playing with your life.
I'm my own medic, my own doctor. I am my mental coach, my nutritionist, my doctor. If you do the right things, you're gonna be better than other persons.
The real message is we all started from nowhere. I mean, we all had bullshit jobs. We all felt like losers. But through time and effort, you build a stronger human.
Think about how many years, months, hours, seconds, days, all that shit you have wasted on people who suck the fucking life out of you. Today's a good day for you to go through and can those motherfuckers. Can those motherfuckers who only call you when they fucking need something. Can those motherfuckers who can't get over shit. Who continue to bring up shit from the past. Who can't move forward. Life is short. Life is precious. Spend that time with the people you love. The people you want to give that time to. Real friends, real family. Everybody else. They're sucking up the air you breathe. You need that motherfucker to be hard.
In order to be in a master, you have to be the
fool. If you're not a fool, you're not learning.
You can't be a master and become a master. You have to make the mistakes to become a master.
100%.
You have to be a fool to even think you want to reach that level.
Yeah.
You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. It's in your mind right now. But you don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like doing the work. You don't feel like working hard. And if you don't feel like working hard, if you don't feel like getting up, then you better feel like losing. You better feel like getting weaker. Because that's what's gonna happen if you don't do what you're supposed to do. So get up and go get it done.
The difference between a dream and a goal is a timeline and accountability.
Very simple method. It was developed by W. Clement Stone when he was a young man. He built a fortune of $500 million, and this is one of the central principles of his life. It's simply this. Every morning when you get up, say over and over to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. I do it now, do it now. Whenever you have this tendency to procrastinate, program your subconscious mind with this automatic conditioned command, do it now, do it now, do it now. The key to overcoming procrastination is to develop a sense of urgency. Be the kind of person who gets things done quickly. Be the kind of person who launches fast on a task.
Everybody just wants to be comfortable. Everybody wants to sit on the couch. I don't want to go outside, it's cold. I don't want to do this, it's hot. Like, you've got to do things that you don't want to do because you show your body that your mind is the boss. Your mind is telling your body what to do, and then you have control.
If you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.
Here's the big challenge of life. You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. That's the challenge. And of course, the other side of the coin reads, unless you change how you are, you'll always have what you got.
Laziness is something that has to do with you. You're not connected to something deep enough. You don't feel the necessity. You don't feel the devil at your heels. You don't feel the fact that you could very well die tomorrow that will impel you to get something done. There's no necessity behind it. And the human animal, the way we were created, is when we feel pressure, we feel the necessity to get things done. We can move mountains. But when that pressure, like almost like a barometric pressure, releases and we don't feel the need to get something done, we can become incredibly lazy because there's no necessity. So you have to create necessity in your life. You have to create the need to get things done.
Why do that much? Why go that far? Why try to become everything? That's a good question, why? And you're the only one personally that can answer that question for yourself. One of the big thrusts for success is to come up with a strong enough why. And if the why is powerful, the how is easy.
You got to have somebody, whether it's yourself or a friend or somebody, that's going to say, look, did you do what you said you were going to do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire. Because, I mean, just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm going to get a different job. Someday I'm going to change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Some days not on there. So you got to say, okay, I'm going to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there. And then pretty soon, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
It's incremental changes over the long haul, and the way you have to look at it is if these two boats are going in a parallel direction and one of them just shifts 5 degrees, over the course of time, this boat is going to be in a far different place than the other boat that's going the same way it was always going.
You got to have the courage. Do you have the courage to act outwardly on what you see inwardly? Or will you die a dreamer? Will you die on the verge and on the edge and in the land of coulda, woulda, and shoulda? Do you have the courage? I'm going to drop something on you. It takes courage to be successful. It is far easier not to be successful. Misery will always have company. Success breeds contempt. If you don't want to make waves, be mediocre. Be normal and fit in. And if you're more concerned about people than you are God, then neutralize everything He put in you. Just fit in with everybody else. Dress like them, walk like them, act like them, eat like them, go where they go, think like they think, do what they do. And once you neutralize your uniqueness, you don't need courage. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before. For some of you, it took courage to come to this conference. It takes courage to get you outside of the bar. It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. People don't talk about people that don't win. If you win, they're going to talk about you. Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging and the people get to talking and you stand there and say, I've come too far to turn around? Do you have the courage?
When you feel like giving up, don't. When you thinking about giving up, don't. When it look like you ain't gonna make it, keep going. When they tell you you can't, come on, man, who are they? When they tell you to put all your stuff back on your desk, don't do that, man. Don't do that. When they tell you you're not funny, you're not gonna make it, don't believe them, man. Don't believe them. You got to be relentless.
Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't change, then nothing's going to change. You want to feel better? Do something different.
Interaction with boldness. So most people are just too timid in life. They're afraid of failure. They're afraid of making mistakes. I never try anything. I never have to put up with criticism. Never have to put up with people scrutinizing me. So most people end up being too shy, too timid in life. And you've got to get over that. You've got to learn how to be bold with your ideas and with your actions. So I try to make each one of my books kind of a statement and impress people with like a strong idea and not be afraid of criticism and not being afraid of controversy. So boldness has gotten me through life, and I think it's critically important in this day and age.
The fear of failure. All right, you have to realize that when you are afraid to go, when you are afraid to go and become and do the thing, you are creating a life of automatic loss. All right? You cannot win, you cannot become, you cannot build this dream that you have, this life, without actually going. And a lot of people nowadays, they like to consume data, they like to read books, they like to listen to podcasts, they like to hire coaches, they do all of the things except the thing that actually produces the result, which is actual execution.
Forget about it. If you think it's going to be easy, if you think you just going to get that business started without any trials or tribulations, forget about it. And so you got to change your mindset, all right? We got to stop looking at pain as if it's something negative.
To those who have everything, more will be given. From those who have nothing, everything will be taken. It's like what's very pessimistic in some sense, because it means that as you start to fail, you fail more and more rapidly. But it also means that as you start to succeed, you succeed more and more rapidly. And so you take an incremental step, and well, now you can lift 55 pounds instead of 52.5 pounds. You think, well, what the hell's that? It's like, it's one step on a very long journey. And so it starts to compound on you. So a small step today puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And then that puts you in a position to take a slightly bigger step the next day. And you do that for 2 or 3 years, man, you're starting to stride.
It takes courage to be exceptional. It takes courage to be wise. It takes courage to be rich. It takes courage to be educated. It takes courage to be knowledgeable. Because the moment you do, but you don't talk like you forgot where you came from. Look at you, it takes courage. And I'm just wondering, in this weak, watered down, mediocre society that we live in today, in this reality TV world we live in today, I'm wondering if there's anybody left that's got the courage to say, after all I've been through, and all my ancestors have been through, and all my parents have been through, I didn't come through all of that just to fit in with normalcy. I have the courage to go after my dream. Is there a woman left in this entire Coliseum that's got some courage?
Real winners, real doers, people who actually achieve their dreams, they don't have any special skills you don't have. They don't have more knowledge. They don't have more talent. They don't have more skills. They just do it.
A lot of the times, they want to count you out. They want to make sure you don't be the one to make it. You don't be the one to succeed, nigga. Look at that. It's crazy. When you really dedicated and you focused up, ain't shit can stop you. Get the fuck in the game. Come on.
No matter what it is. Many times you say to yourself, I gotta lose weight, I'm too fat. And then you know what? During the day you eat at night, and the next day you get mad at yourself. Well, what do you want? What do you want? You gotta change something. Well, a lot of actors, I don't want to go see that. They feel funny. They don't want to see a director or see people. I go, no. You gotta try. You gotta get out there. You gotta fake it till you make it. Do something.
What I'm saying is, you're not gonna know. So choose, live, and then if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, adjust. Everybody thinks they can have the perfect decision. There is no perfect decision. There's just life.
Someone that overthinks things, they get analysis paralysis, right? They just start thinking and thinking and thinking. They're frozen from their own thoughts, too many thoughts. And so I thought these were good little factors here. And it basically, to me, it all boils down to actually fear. Because if you're thinking, then you're not taking action. And if you're not taking action, then there's no consequence. And if there's no consequence, then there's nothing to be afraid of. So I think that the overthinking can be an excuse for actual fear. And same thing with I'm a perfectionist. That's also fear. It's fear of not being perfect. And then on top of that, low confidence. Well, if you have low confidence, guess what? You're afraid. Your confidence is low. You're not sure of yourself, so you sit around and think about doing it instead of actually doing it.
This wasn't built for you. I'm 41 years old. I didn't grow up with this either, but I figured it out. You figured out how to drive, you figured out how to be a parent, you figured it all out. And with the health trends and the way the world is now, you got a long life in front of you. So instead of sitting in that job for the next 10 years, go do your thing. You've got plenty and plenty of time.
No matter what's going on in your life is not permanent. Everything is going to change. So there's two things you can do with change. You can react to it or you can participate in it. It's going to change anyway. So if you keep waiting around, you're going to have to react to the change.
and now you behind. But if you participate in the change, if you know the job you have is not going to last forever, I'm just telling you. COVID proved that already. Where you go to work at every day, that's going to change. COVID proved that already. Your best laid plans has changed. So what you got to start doing is you got to start anticipating that it's going to change and just start living your life with the preparation for change. No matter what you're doing, you could be doing more. Remember that.
Because the great thing about life is it's always your next move. Your next move that counts.